Hello there. I don't know how to do intros. So, I've never played League of Legends. I don't think I'm ever likely to. But I have watched Arcane, both seasons. Big fan, by the way. So, I figured who is better qualified to do a tier list of the entire League of Legends roster. All 160 of these bastards. I think there's 106. Is it 160 or 170? Something like that. So funny thing, I was actually planning on doing this a few weeks back, or probably a couple of months now, after I'd finished my Arcane Season 2 videos, just for a laugh, just for fun. But then, by the time I got around to actually doing this, Last of Us Season 2 was coming out, and I really wanted to talk about that. But now that's over and done with, so I can actually do this now. And I still have all these little icons that I made ages ago when I was planning on doing it, so I figured, why not? Should be fun. Also, it's been a while since I've watched Arcane, so the last time I looked at this roster, it's kind of exited my brain a little bit. So this should be a good refresher from the first time I looked at all these ones. Hopefully, no one new's been added in that time, or hopefully nothing's changed. Otherwise, I'm going to run into trouble halfway through this. But you know, that might make it more fun actually. So we'll see what happens. I'm also only going to be judging these based on their splash art. I'm not looking at any of their bios. I'm not looking at their in-game models. I'm judging this based on... This is purely first impressions. This is the splash art's job here. To try and convince me who would I be putting top tier as my immediate go-to if I was going to start playing this game. Or who I just think looks interesting in general. I don't know. I'm really just judging this based on vibes, if I'm being honest. Right, enough fucking around. I've got a lot of characters to get through, so let's get started, shall we? The Darkened Blade, Aatrox. So, it looks kinda like something the Doomslayer would fight. Not bad. It looks like it'd be a pretty cool boss battle, you know? Not necessarily in a Doom, but, you know, maybe in like a Dark Souls, or even a God of War. Not bad. It's not super appealing to me. I think the helmet looks pretty cool. Everything else is kinda normal and generic. Still not terrible though. I'm gonna put Aatrox in. I think B's a good starting point. Ahri, the nine-tailed fox. Does she actually have 9 tails? That'd be very cute if she did. I like it. It looks nice. I like the color scheme. There's a lot of color, but it all blends together very well. Like the white, the red, the gold, the purple, the blue. Like that's a lot of color for one character, but it meshes together very well. I think it looks very nice. Okay, I can see the 9 tails, so to speak. I feel like the splash art makes that look very sort of nice and sort of cloudy, but I feel like in game that would look really weird and distracting, if I'm being completely honest. But here in the splash art, it looks very nice and presentable, you know. But I feel like in game it would look ridiculous. I didn't mind it. I think it's all right. Would I play as this? Like, would I immediately go to this? Probably not. But it's still up there. I still think it's not a B. I'm not scaling these, by the way. Like, I'm not like, you know, okay, so Ahri would go above Aatrox or whatever, things like that. I'll put Ahri in B, but it would probably be like a higher end of B. Akali, the rogue assassin. This looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. This looks pretty fucking cool. Do you know what I like about this one? This one, it's mostly energy that's doing the work. Like, it's mostly vibes, because there's not, like, in terms of like actual like costume and like character design, there's not a shitload going on. Like, it's very minimalist, but good lord, is there an energy and an aura here. She's got a fucking dragon tattoo. She's got the Mortal Kombat ninja mask on, hair flowing in the wind, like she just has control of the elements or something like that. She's got a fucking scythe as a weapon. I didn't even know what the fuck this is she's got in her hand here. Oh no, that's a guy. She just killed somebody. She's just killed some cunt. Alright, I'm sorry. If you've killed somebody in your splash art, you get points. If in your splash art you've killed somebody, you get some points. Nah, I love this. This is great. She looks like she'd fit right into like a Mortal Kombat game. Honestly, this might be an S. Like it's the sort of like simple, it's the sort of like minimalist approach that I really like to certain character designs, and it's just a lot of it's just energy. I love it. Arcane, the Rogue Sentinel. Wow, there's a lot of rogues in this game, isn't there? Again, similarly to what I said about Akali, it's very minimalist in terms of like character design, but it is giving off an energy. It's giving off he's given me sort of like, I don't know, like sort of Prince of Persia and a little bit of Dante vibes, which works. I think looks really cool. My man is flexing those abs. He looks great. He's giving off a great energy, and I like it. Is he? He does look like he might be a bit of a smarmy bastard, which can work for or against you in a video game. But I still like it. I don't know if I think he's given as much aura as Akali was, but I think I'm still going to put him in A. Alistar, the Minotaur. Really? Just the Minotaur? No the vengeful Minotaur? No the rogue Minotaur? It kind of looks like he would be the mascot of some sort of energy drink. It feels kind of generic, and maybe that's just because like Minotaurs are very common, like Minotaur type characters or enemies rather are very common in video games. I feel similarly about this as the way I do, as the way I did with Atrox. So I might put him up in B. Nah, do you know what? I'll put Alistar in C, because Atrox looks like he would be a really cool boss battle. Alistar looks like a generic enemy type. Just looks like something Kratos would kill, like, with ease. Yeah, I think C is appropriate. Alright, Ambessa's next. The Matriarch of War. So, this is where I need to divorce my Arcane bias a wee bit. Because I love Ambessa in the series. I think she's awesome, and I know her personality. I don't know if that's reflective in the game, but it doesn't matter. I'm trying to divorce that anyway. Regardless, though, she looks more or less the same as her season 1 design, and I suppose the beginning of season 2, which is a good design. It looks really good. Again, I think it looks a bit better in Arcane for some reason, and maybe that's just memory. But this still looks really good. I like how she looks like a combination of both battle ready, but she also still looks regal. Like, she still looks like the queen. The hair's pretty much the same. She's still got the black and the red Noxus colours. I like the feathered drapery. I think the gauntlets are a bit big, but that's a nitpick, you know. I know they're there mostly for the weapons that she's using, but I still think this is quite striking. I don't know if it's S tier. I don't think it is. Again, maybe that's my bias coming in, because if this was any of her latter season 2 designs, it would probably be an S. Maybe she is an S. Nah, do you know what? I'll put her in A. I'll put her in A, because I feel like I'm being too bad. Do you know what? I'm being biased either way, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Amumu, the sad mummy. Why is he sad? Why is he so sad? What happened to him? Sometimes I'm perplexed by the characters in this game, honestly. Like, can this guy fight Ambessa? Like, what does he do? Does he kill you with the power of depression? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, does he power himself up with sertraline tablets or something? Like, what's his deal? I mean, outside of the fact that he's really sad for some reason, which kind of makes me interested in, like, what's going on with him, I don't think there's anything that interesting happening here, you know? He just looks like a mummified baby, which is a horrifying thought to put in my head. Jesus Christ. I feel bad for him, you know? Like, I wish I could help you, man, but unfortunately, I'm putting you in C. I don't know if that'll help you. That might depress you even more. I'm sorry. These wounds won't seem to heal. I feel so bad. Maybe I'm being too much of an empath. No, because if I was, I'd put him higher. So I'm leaving him in C. Alright? Maybe if I ever find out why he's so sad, yeah, I'll put him higher. But other than that, he's not got much else going on. Anivia, the Cryo Phoenix. That's a cool name. No pun intended. It's very nice to look at. It looks very pretty. It's very basic, but it works. It's one of those examples of characters or creatures that are like made of an element, and they make them like head to toe. In this case, it's ice, and I think it works. You know, the fact that it's a bird kind of makes it more interesting because the icicles kind of look like feathers, which I think is clever. I think it is pretty basic though. You know, it is pretty basic. It feels kind of like an enemy type. Still looks very nice. I'll put Anivia in B. Annie, the Dark Child. This is an interesting one because either of these two entities, so Annie herself and whatever the fuck this bearish monster is behind her, either of these two on their own, I think are a C or a B, or maybe somewhere around there. I don't know exactly what, because Annie just looks like a relatively normal child, and this thing just looks like a standard like bearish monster. But the fact that they are like a unit and they seem to share space with each other, it is making them really interesting. Also, I know something fucked up's going on with Annie, because I remember seeing her character page in the universe website, and her character page has this really like grim, dark and gloomy image that just made me go, Jesus Christ, what the Annie, are you okay? Is Annie okay? There's a story here is what I'm saying. It feels like there's a story here that's kind of being told, and I'm very curious about. So for that, I'm going to put Annie in A, because is Annie okay? She's probably not. I mean, she's called the Dark Child, so she's probably not alright. Aphelios, the Weapon of the Faithful. Similarly to what I was saying about Annie just now, I think this is an example of the surrounding art making this much more interesting than the character in his design himself. Because honestly, his design's a bit strange. Because I initially thought he was wearing a long coat, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So he's got that classic, like, goth look. But I looked closer and I'm like, wait, he's not wearing a long coat. He's got big, massive lapels and the really, like, broad, straight line shoulders, like he is wearing a long coat. But he's not. It's like drapery. Like, it's like drapery, like, falling down the front of his shoulders and down the sides of his arms as well. Like, he's just got, like, loose, like, fabric falling down. So it looks more like a cape. But it also doesn't look like a cape because there's nothing coming down the back, so it's really weird looking. I quite like his weapon. He's got this like weird crystal scythe. That's pretty fucking cool. And again, the fact that he's got like some sort of spirit surrounding him makes this quite interesting. I'll give him a B. Ash, the Frost Archer. I love it. I love it. It looks great. It looks great. It's very streamlined. It's powerful. It's a great image. Looks fantastic. I like that it's a very simple two-tone color scheme. The bow stands out a lot more, you know, because she has a very like simple color scheme to her. I think it's lacking in a wee bit of detail in the lower half. Like, the upper half looks genuinely like cool and badass, but the lower half kind of looks a bit cheerleader-ish. But that might just be the angle. Like, maybe if like that might just be the angle of the splasher. Also, the hood's a little bit too pointy. I think that could be rounded up a wee bit. But other than that, this is awesome. Like, this is really cool. Oh god, this is really cool, he says.
Allow me to break the ice.
About the woman with a fucking frost bow. I kind of want to put her in S. Maybe I'm a wee bit biased because I love, like, ice-based characters. Maybe she's an A. Nah, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm putting her in S. I just like how simple and effective it is. Aurelian Sol, the Star Forger. He's some sort of cosmic dragon, it seems. It's pretty cool, I suppose, but I'm a bit confused. So he's got a mask and horns that look like they're made of some sort of metallic material. He also has gauntlets as well, it seems, but his body looks like it's transparent, or he has like universes and stars and shit inside of him. This is just really confusing. What is the scale? What's the fucking scale of these characters? Because, like I said, he looks like he's on like a cosmic scale. Can this guy fight Annie? Like, how does that work? This is bizarre. This is really confusing. Yeah, do you know what? The more I think about this, the more I'm like, this is just confusing me more than it is intriguing me. If you catch my drift, like, it's more. I mean, the concept is kind of cool. I mean, he's called, what was it? The Star Forger. So that does kind of imply that he is on some sort of like cosmic scale. I could look at that. No, I'm not looking at the in-game models. I'm judging just by the splash art. It's not bad because it is kind of interesting, but it's really confusing. So I think I'm going to put him in C. C for confusing. Aurora, the witch between worlds. She looks like if somebody was like a really, really big fan of Lola Bunny and Harry Potter and decided to do like a crossover cosplay of the two. To which, if that was the case, I'd be like, do you know what? I admire the creativity. The fact that I just went from some sort of cosmic dragon to this is fucking hilarious. This isn't doing anything for me. The ears are ridiculous. She has a fucking puffball tail, for God's sake. I know people love Lola Bunny, but I've never felt the same way. I'm more of a squirrel girl. Sorry, Aurora. I think you're a... Nah, do you know what? I think she's a D, because I didn't even find her that interesting to like look at. Like, oh, she's got a witch's hat. I never even noticed that. She's got a witch's hat on. It's not even that interesting. I suppose a bunny lady's interesting, but no, these days, you know the fucking furry culture we live in. The Emperor of the Sands, Azir. Oh no. Oh no, this is so fucking over-designed. I kinda like the helmet because it looks like... It looks a bit like, what's his fucking name? The Egyptian god, Osiris. Aye, that one. That's what it looks like, a wee bit. But everything else is a fucking mess. He's got like folded shoulder armor. He's got so many colours on him. So many fucking colours. And it doesn't really mesh. He's got this he's got the tiniest fucking stomach. He's got chicken legs. I'm assuming he's not human. Yes, nah, this is a mess. I didn't like it. If this was a character in a fighting game, I would not go near this. Like, I don't think I would ever go near this. Sorry, Azir, you're gone in D. Bard, the wandering caretaker. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this? So he's a beard with a robot face that looks like an emoticon, and he's got peg legs as well. I can't say it's not something, because it is, but it's mostly just confusing. I think we've got another D. Wow, was that 3 Ds in a row? Oh dear. Oh no, I hope this doesn't keep up. Belveth, the Empress of the Void. Looks very sinister. Looks like another one that looks like looks like it could be an interesting boss battle. But it's another one that's kind of confusing. Those aren't, she hasn't got arms. I thought those were her arms up here. I thought they were her arms for a second. They're not. They're some sort of like, I don't even know what they are. Is it part of her cape? Are those teeth? Is that a mouth? Does she have a mouth on her chest? Is she Jinpachi for Tekken 5? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, she's huge. Look at this wee cunt down here. He's terrified. This would be terrifying, actually. if this came at you, this would be terrifying. Do you know what she kind of looks like? Yeah, this is like boss battle material, but specifically like a Dark Souls type boss, where you enter the room and you just see her face for the first time and you're like, oh right, so I'm going up against this random woman. But then she shows the rest of herself and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It is a bit confusing, and that is both going for and against it. I'm going to put her in B. B for Belveth. There we go. Blitzcrank, the Great Steam Golem. Blitzcrank sounds like it would be the name of a transformer. I mean, he looks like a fairly standard, like, steampunk robot, I suppose. Doesn't he look bad? I really struggle with, like, robot and cyborg designs sometimes. Like, I can never seem to decide what I like and what I don't like. I don't know, it just looks really standard. You know, it's not really doing much for me. Do you know what? I feel the same way about this guy as I do about Alistair. Feels like it could be an enemy type, but not the worst looking enemy type. Brand, the Burning Vengeance. I really like this. And I'll tell you why. So, what I was saying about the icy bird not that long ago, usually when you have a character or a creature whose whole motif is that they are like one singular element, they usually like design that character to be like head to toe that element. So in this guy's case, he's fire, so most people would just make him head to toe fire. I mean, I don't know that for sure, maybe there's like more to this character, but I'm assuming based on his name and his other title, the Burning Vengeance, I'm assuming his main gimmick is fire, as opposed to like making the fire external. They've made it internal, so like the fire is like bursting out of him and he's containing it, and his body is like brimstone or something. Like, that's really cool. That's much more interesting than just making him all fire, you know, because you can get more like range of emotion in his face. You can get more like definition on the body, and you can add a little bit of clothing. Like, he even has some clothing on him, you know. It's not a lot, but it's something, and it makes him stand out a wee bit more. I really like this. I think this looks really cool. Ironically, Flame kind of looks like a mohawk as well, which I think is quite funny. You know, I don't know if that's deliberate. I don't know if his head's just meant to look like a flame, but like it's like they're giving him detail with the fire, and he's got like this split down his chest. Yeah, I really like this. I think this is cool as hell. I might put him in S. Right next to Ash. He's right next to Ice. Brom. The heart of the Freljord. Yeah, so Freljord seems to be the snowy place, right? That's the Winterfell. Look at that stash. That is a mighty mustache. Cunt looks like the fucking Pringles packet. I don't really feel any which way about this. I feel like he looks fairly he just kind of looks like one of those like strong men you see in those like old weightlifting pictures. I don't think he looks bad. He has those like Mr. Incredible legs, doesn't he? Does he know? He's got this big massive upper body, but he's got these wee tiny stubbly legs. This man definitely skips leg day. I think he's a C. I'm not really feeling too much with it. Briar, the restrained hunger. Oh no. Oh no, we're getting to these types. We're getting to the goth girl characters. Every one of these games has to have at least one, right? Is this a stockade? Is she got like is that a stockade? Does she have this on all the time, or is that just part of the splash art? I'm gonna assume she's a vampire of sorts to some degree. I have a soft spot for like vampire stuff, so. And she, you know, she's obviously clearly like the very standard like goth girl character. The stockade is bizarre. Like, I do not know what this is, if that's what it even is, but it looks like it looks like some sort of like restraint, and she's called, what was it? Yeah, the restrained hunger. So I'm assuming that is a restraint of some kind. Like, that's kinda hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if she's fighting with like restraints on, that's kinda hard. That's like if you were fighting with a straitjacket. Oh, and it looks like she's killed a guy. I did say if you've killed a guy in your splash art, that's you get points. Oh shit, Briar, didn't give your feet away for free, for God's sake. What are you, daft woman? Do you know what? I didn't mind this. It's weird. It's weird in a funny way. I think she's more interesting than a B. I think. I'll put her in A for now, because I don't know, she seems kind of funny. She looks like she's probably got like one of those like Melina attitudes, which can be quite fun, but it can also be quite annoying at times. This is a character who I feel like if I played as her, I would discover immediately whether or not I like this character or not. Caitlin, the Sheriff of Piltover, she's feeling fantastic, fucking fantastic, something American classic. So again, divorcing my feelings about Arcane's version of Caitlin, who has some of the, just side note, has some of the coolest looks across the whole fucking series. Like, it's kind of absurd. Like, she gets like 2 looks in season 1, and they're both really cool. But then in season 2, she gets like 4 different looks in one season, and they're all amazing. I still think she looks really cool in the game. She still reminds me of Zatanna a wee bit. I think I said that in a previous video. It's probably just the top hat, which, by the way, it looks okay in the splash art here. Like, she's making it look really cool because she's holding it down like she's a badass. But I imagine in gameplay that top hat would look really fucking stupid. I like that she's got a combination of like a dress and some tactical stuff. Like, I like that she's got armor on as well, which somehow works. Like, for some reason I feel like I shouldn't like that, but I do, you know. And it's streamlined armor as well. Like, it's not over designed armor. The gun is ridiculous, but I think that's just Arcane style at this point. Honestly, Caitlyn, I think Caitlyn's still an S. Again, I still think she looks better in Arcane, but I still think she looks really fucking good in the game as well. Camille, is it Camille or Camille? The Steel Shadow. Interesting. This is giving me like Metal Gear Rising vibes, and I kinda like it. You know? I mean, she's obviously a cyborg of some kind. She has fucking blade legs. That's hard as fuck. That's really cool. But yeah, she's a cyborg, right? Because her eyes are the same color as the sort of like accents on the legs. I like this. This is really cool. The only problem with it is, though, is I feel like this character in their splash art should have a front profile. For some reason, I feel like a back profile is kind of doing a disservice to this character. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but for some reason, I feel like this character should have like a front profile and no a back one. You know, but it still looks cool though. I'm still putting this in A because, like I said, it reminds me of. It makes me think of like Metal Gear Rising. Cassiopeia, the Serpent's Embrace. Here's the thing. She looks like a... Well, actually, do you know what? I was about to say she looks like a pretty standard enemy type, but what I mean to say is she very specifically looks like the Medusa or... I can't remember what the other ones are called, like enemy types in God of War games. And I don't know if I've played many other games that have enemy types that look like this. There probably is somewhere. It is interesting though. I mean, Serpent Lady, you know, it's a little bit Copperhead as well. I didn't mind it. It's all right. I think it's a B though, because I feel like I've seen better versions of things like this. Still looks good though. Wash your hands, hen. Jesus Christ. Cho'Gath, the Terror of the Void. I suppose it's gone for like a Lovecraftian type of like monster design, I suppose, but it somehow feels generic. Like, despite how like out there and monstrous it looks, it somehow feels a bit generic. I don't know why. Again, maybe it's just I can't really get a sense of much with this. Like, is it serpentine? Is it an arachnid? It looks like it might be like crab or spider like, because it looks like I can see legs here. This looks like it might be a leg as well. I kind of like the mandibles. But outside of that, I'm just like, this looks like the boss battle that I'd want to rush through, if you catch my drift. Like, if I was playing through a game, this is the boss battle I'd want to like quickly get through. I think I've found, where is he? There he is. I think we've got another D-joiner. Yeah, let me look at it again. Yeah, it's just it's not really. I don't know. I just didn't find it that interesting. You know. Just looks like a monster with not much substance to it. Maybe if I saw like the full design of it, I'd be a little bit more lenient towards it. Corky, the Daring Bombardier. He looks like a discount Dr. Robotnik. I don't know if he's got a better or worse mustache. I'm assuming he's a Yordle because he looks very small. Or am I just being heightist? He looks like a Gadgeteer type character, which I generally don't gravitate towards. But I suppose, you know, he looks like he's got some personality to him. This isn't for me. You know, he looks very old-fashioned. He looks like, you know what? He looks like he'd be a boomer. I don't know why. He looks like he'd be an old boomer. I'm gonna put him in C. Could be fun, but you know, he just doesn't look like. It's just not the sort of thing I would. It's just not the sort of character that I would like gravitate towards. Darius, the Hand of Noxus. Whew. This guy though. This guy looks really cool. I like this. You know, it's got a bit of that problem that I've probably mentioned already, and I'm probably going to mention more as I go through this, because I do remember noting that about a lot of these characters when I went through this for the first time. Some characters look really like overly armored, where I don't think they need to. Like, this guy looks fucking huge. Like, look at this. Look at this man's biceps and forearms. Like, he's massive. Does he need to have shoulder guards this big? Does he need to have shoulder guards that are this fucking big? You know, it feels unnecessary sometimes. But again, I've kind of accepted that it's the style that League of Legends goes for with a lot of its male characters. So I'll give it that. That being said, though, I think he looks awesome. He looks like a fucking powerhouse. I think he looks great. Is he an A or an S? Because he has like main character energy. You know what I mean? Like, he could be the main character of a story, which he might be, because I think he was in that Noxus trailer, and they are doing a Noxus spin-off of Arcane, so he might be one of the main characters. Yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna leave him an S. Diana, Scorn of the Moon. And again, another example of a really straightforward, streamlined design, but a really fucking effective one. Like, I love that it's mostly just, like, usually I would, like, give something crap for being, like, really, like, muted. But, like, this works because there's enough that stands out elsewhere. Like, she's got long, white hair, and she's mostly wearing black. And her outfit isn't, like, confusing or overly armored or anything like that. Her weapon looks so cool. Like, this crescent, like, sword thing that she's got looks badass as fuck. You know, the symbol on her head could very easily look stupid, but it doesn't. It actually looks cool, and I like how it's almost aligned with her eye makeup. Like, I think that looks really cool. This is awesome. This is another S. God, the S's are stacking up, eh? To be fair, I'm not even halfway through this. I should really speed this up. Dr. Mundo, the Madman of Zon. No, the Madman of Zon was Silco. Purple Solomon Grundy, or Purple Hulk. No, do you know what? He's more Solomon Grundy. He definitely looks interesting. I've got to give him that. You know, he does look like he could be a fun, like, he looks like he could be a fun boss battle. Why is this Rocket Raccoon down here? Why is Rocket Raccoon here? He's just sitting there in the corner. But wait, hold on. Are we in somebody's perspective? Look at this foot. Are we on like? Is this a guy on a stretcher or something? That would be terrifying. Can you imagine? Can you imagine lying on a stretcher, unconscious, and then you come to and then you see this guy like coming towards you? And it looks like he's holding he's holding papers coming towards you, like he's going, "I've got your prescription for you. I have your diazepam prescription." Do you know what? I'm gonna put. Do you know what? Just because I'm having fun in my head, I'm gonna put him in B, because I'm having fun thinking about. Like, who's this poor cunt in the stretcher? Honestly, Draven, the Glorious Executioner. Eric Draven? Nah. Eric Draven looks way cooler than you, pal. This is an example of simple, streamlined, but not as effective. You know, it's not hitting as well for some reason. Do you know what he looks like? He looks like he would be one of those generic Kano clones from like the 3D era of Mortal Kombat games. You know, your Jarreks and your Cobras. He is killing somebody though, so he is going to have to get points in his splash art. He's got that going for him. His design, I think his design's just really boring. I think it's just that. I think that's what the problem is. He looks like a snarly bastard, you know? He's got that sort of like Kano energy, where he's just probably like a prick. But you know, he is killing a guy, so I need to give him credit for that. So I'll put him in C, because other than the fact that he's killing somebody in his splash art, I don't think there's much else that's interesting about him. Echo, the boy who shattered time. What? I thought it was the boy savior. I mean, I suppose he is the boy who shattered time. Here's the thing. Despite the fact that I love Echo, I think he's a great character, and he's the central focus of quite possibly the best episode in the whole fucking series. I don't think his design is the best. He's just very normal looking. Like, he has a really cool sword, which is elevated by the fact that I know that sword is the minute hand of a fucking clock tower. But again, I wouldn't know that if I hadn't watched Arcane, so I'm trying to like forget about that. And yeah, the only other real difference is that in the series he's got the Killmonger haircut, whereas here he's got just like a more standard mohawk. I don't know if I'm being completely honest. Like, okay, if he was a selectable if I was playing this game and I was choosing my characters based on just their splash art, aside from the fact that he has what looks like a pretty cool looking sword, he just looks very normal. I don't even think he doesn't look bad, you know? Like, he looks like an unassuming character. He could be a really cool character to play as, but like, he's not going to catch your eye immediately. Honestly, realistically, He's probably a C overall, just because nothing about him is like really striking aside from his dumb mohawk and his cool sword. If he looked like he did when he was in the alternate universe, that fucking dapper suit of his with his hair tied back, he'd be a fucking A or an S. Elise, the Spider Queen. She was also in that Noxus Bite Marks trailer, I believe. I think she looks good. I think she looks very villainous, you know. Do you know what she kind of looks like? She kind of looks like a female Mr. Sinister. A female Nathaniel Essex, you know. I will say though, I think the spider motif is is gone a bit too hard in this image. I don't know if she always looks like this, but the spider motif has gone a little bit too hard, I think. Like, she's got spider legs coming out of her back. Her legs look like spider legs. Her fingers look like spider legs. She has spider legs coming out of her side. Her crown has what looks like spider legs. Her fucking corset has what looks like spider legs. Like, I get it. You're the Spider Queen. Tone it down a wee bit. I still think she looks good though. Looks like a very good villain. You know, looks like a very scary, you know, unsettling villain. You know, so I'm still gonna put her in. I'll still put her in B. Evelyn, Agony's Embrace. Oh, good lord. There's more of them. The goth girls. Oh god. Jesus Christ. The curvaceousness on this one though.
Her thighs, team.
She reminds me of Unknown from the Tekken Tag games. You know, the final boss. Because she has a very similar, like, black, purple, like, substance that covers her body as well. And she has orange eyes as well. She's no blonde. She has dark hair. Alright. I was about to say she's killed a guy. I don't think she's killed this guy. Is this woman a succubus? This one has evil intentions. This one has sus intentions, shall I say. Alright, what do I actually think of it though? I think it actually looks quite cool. I kind of like it. Not for those reasons, I promise. God. Just put it in the fucking tier list, alright? The more you try and explain yourself, the more you're just going to look weird. So just put it, I don't know, put it in A. Let's just move on for fuck's sake. Ezreal, the Prodigal Explorer. Aside from the fact that he's got some sort of like arcane left arm, which is kind of cool, I'm not really getting anything else. He has beautiful hair. The hair is gorgeous, feathered and lethal. You just don't see it nowadays. Yeah, I'm not really getting much else. Like, I can't even tell if he's wearing a jacket or if he's wearing a vest. I think the splash art's doing this guy a disservice. I get what they're going for. They want to like have his main power and his main ability, which I'm assuming that's what his arm is. They want to have that like front and center, but it's kind of taken away from him a wee bit. I think this is another C. I think he's another C. I'm not getting enough for this image. He looks so normal. Alright, Fiddlesticks. Oh wait, his splash art's different. Hold on a second. Did I see that correctly? Yeah, he looks different. He looks different here from here. Does he look that way in the... Let me see. Oh, that's the one I've got. I suppose I'm judging this one then. Do you know what's interesting? The second I saw this, I was like, looks like another mess. It looks like another one that's a fucking mess. You know, this might be another D situation. But here's the thing. The more I look at this, the more I like it. Well, first of all, he reminds me of Scarecrow a wee bit. Do you know what actually? He reminds me of Scarecrow from Injustice 2. Like, because Scarecrow's a character in Injustice 2. And you can design him to look kind of like this. Like, you can give him the green... you can give him, like, the green underlayer as opposed to the orange, because his default one's orange, but you can change it to green if you want to. And you can give him all sorts of, like accessories and, like, accoutrements, and make him look kind of like this. And that's what it's reminding me of. He looks very spooky. Fiddlesticks is a shit name for him, though. Like, this guy needs a cooler name than Fiddlesticks. You know, Fiddlesticks actually sounds like it would be the name of another Transformer. I kind of like it. He looks very spooky and monstrous. I like it. Honestly, I'm gonna put him in A. I like it. It looks good. Fiora, the Grand Duelist. Another example of Simple, streamlined, and effective. I love the motif of, like, she has a red streak through her hair, and there's like red rose petals falling around all over the place, but you can also see it as blood because like there's a petal on the sword. I think that's really cool. I do think her actual like outfit itself is a bit bland. Like, it feels a bit too empty. I feel like there could be a little bit more design on the chest area or the stomach or whatever. Just this bodice, like this whole part up here. Maybe not so much on the legs, because I think that's the style they're going for. Like, she looks very I don't know what those people are called, but she's got a very similar type of sword. But I like it. I think it looks really good. Again, lacking in a bit of detail, I think, but I still really like it. I think the presentation of this is doing most of the work here. So I'm gonna put her in a Fizz, the Tidal Trickster. He looks like Stitch if Stitch was an amphibian. And he was also Aquaman, apparently. Is that his whole deal? Is he the Aquaman of this game? Like, he looks like he's got a shark mate next to him. That's pretty cool. You know? Is that what he can do? Can he control, like, sea creatures and shit? B. Galaio, the Colossus. I think I remember this one. How big or small are any of these characters? And how the hell does it translate to the actual gameplay? Like, can he fight Annie? Can he fight Heimerdinger? Like, what's going on? Look at this. Look at these wee cunts over here. Look at how small these guys are. And Heimerdinger's like at shin length with normal humans. It looks alright as like a big sort of Colossus monster character. I think he looks alright. What do you need wings for? He's got wings. Like, that's cool, but like, what do you need wings for? Your head's already in the fucking clouds, mate. What do you need? Look at this goofy, look at this big goofy smile. Look at this big smile. He's just like, hey, I'm bigger than you lot. What are you gonna do? Like, he also has the stubby wee Mr. Incredible legs. He's got this big, massive upper body, but he's got these tiny wee stubby legs. He has a tail though. That's pretty cool. I like that he has a tail. He's no Shadow of the Colossus, but he is the Colossus. So. I'll put him in B. Gangplank, the Saltwater Scourge. Arr. Arr. This looks very Zack Snyder. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because everything's muted. Like, any colour that's in this image is as muted as possible. Like, he somehow looks green, grey, blue, and yellow at the same time. I mean, I kind of like that he's a pirate. He certainly looks like a mean bastard, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of lacking something. Maybe it's just because of like how muted the image is. It kind of works for him because, you know, I'm assuming he's like an evil, like, pirate type character or like a bounty hunter of sorts. That kind of works, but I don't know. It feels like it's lacking something. I think he's going in C. Garen, the Might of Demacia. So, despite the fact that he looks a bit like a frat bro in the face and the hair, I really like this. Again, my issue still stands with like the armor looking a bit too bulky, but I think I've just accepted that as the style that League of Legends has in its art. Outside of that, I think this looks incredible. I fucking love his color scheme. His color scheme's incredible. I like although I'm not a big fan of like the bulkiness of the armor, I like the layout of it. Like, I like how it's very symmetrical looking. He looks very heroic. Like, he looks like he could be the main character of this game. You know what I mean? I mean, he might not be. He might be an absolute prick in the game's lore, but I'm just saying, based on the image, he looks like... Actually, do you know what? He actually looks like... Where is he? He kind of looks like the opposite of Darius. You know how, like, Darius is all black and red? This guy's, like, blue and white, or white and gold, rather. But, like, he feels like the opposite of that. I really like this. I think this is really cool. Honestly, minor grievances aside, I think he's an S. He does still kind of look like a frat bro, though. Nar, the missing link. I remember this wee guy. I remember seeing you for the first time when I went through. Do I even need to... He's an S. He's an S. Do I even need to explain? Do I need to go into details as to why? Alright? I couldn't give a fuck if he's vicious. I couldn't care if he's got some sort of horrible, demented lore surrounding him. I didn't care. I'll figure it out. I'll take him to obedience training. I didn't care. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at the fucking Cubone helmet. Sorry. Nah, he's perfect. Gragas, the rabble rouser. He's reminding me of Boraicho from Mortal Kombat. Because I'm assuming that's a big barrel of booze he's meant to be holding. It looks like he's in some sort of public house, as it were. But, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he's one of those types of characters where it's like, you know, he's fat, so he, you know, he drinks and he burps and he farts or whatever. I'm not saying that's what he is. I'm just getting those vibes for him. Design-wise, it's not really that interesting. I didn't think I'd go near a character like this unless I discovered he had a really cool like personality or something like that. Honestly, I'd probably put him in. Nah, because he's not got much. I was gonna say C, but he's not got that much else interesting happening. I think he's a D. Sorry, Gragas. You know, please tell me if I'm wrong. You know, maybe he's actually cool. Graves, the Outlaw. I think he looks great. Simple, effective. I love the cape with a big collar. I like how it's tattered at the back. You know, he's not got too much going on elsewhere. The gun is ridiculous. I think the gun's a bit silly, but I'm not a big fan of the weird cannon. I kind of wish those two cannons were like close together, like an actual shotgun. But who am I to judge like steampunk aesthetics, you know? But I do like this overall. I think he looks pretty cool. He's got the Black Panther necklace on. You know, that's cool. Where does he go though? I'll put him in A. I think A suits him. Gwen, the hallowed seamstress. She looks very much like your standard anime character, I suppose. The very like pristine face, the very elegant dress, you know, the big eyes and the blue hair and whatnot, which kind of makes her seem a bit generic, but the fact that she's holding a massive pair of what I'm going to assume are like spectral scissors or something is kind of cool. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, it's so unique. Like, why scissors? Like, that kind of makes me curious. Why is it scissors? But I can't deny that she does look kind of... I mean, she looks nice, don't get me wrong. Usually when you have, like, multiple shades of the same colour on a character, it does not look good. But it actually meshes together very well. She's a B. She's a B. Hecarim, the Shadow of War. Woof! Good lord. This guy, though. This is heavy metal album cover shit. Right here. He looks like a boss battle. He looks like a Devil May Cry boss battle, actually. He actually does kind of remind me of Burial a wee bit, because he's a centaur, it would appear. Like, he's four-legged. I do like this, though. This guy looks really cool. I'd be so interested to find out what this thing's all about, because it looks fucking wild. I'm going to put him in A. Heimerdinger, the revered inventor. So, here's the thing. I like Heimerdinger as a character. I really enjoy him, you know, I think he's fun. He's a great fucking singer, you know, he's got a great voice on him. But if I were to be judging just by the splash art, I don't think I would have any interest in this character. Like, I know who he is because of the context of Arcane, so I can play in my head like what's going on beneath those goggles and what like his eyes might be saying right now and what personality he has. But from this splash art, I don't get anything. Yeah, honestly, thus far, I mean, I've not looked at many of the Yordle type characters, but he just doesn't look... It's just not that interesting. You know? It's just not that interesting. And, like, Corky doesn't really appeal to me, but he looks like some personality's coming through, whereas here, Heimerdinger doesn't look like he's got anything coming through, which is unfortunate, because... he's honestly a D. I don't think I would go near him. Like, at all. And his name's pretentious. Yeah, I get it. Like, you're Schrodinger and Oppenheimer. I get it. Why? The Visionary. That is some aura you've got. Initially, like, looking at this this one, like just like the outfit they've got on and the fact that they're holding a paintbrush, I'm like, what's going on here? But does this exude aura? You know, the swept over hair, the jawline, you know, the dark eyes, the fucking collarbone. This is giving off an energy. Hui's got some shit going on inside his head, their head. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what you identify as, pal. Again, looks very simple on the surface, but this might shock some people. But honestly, I think Hui's an A. There's some sort of like energy to this that I really like. Maybe that says more about me than the actual character. Eloi. I don't know. The Kraken Priestess. That's a fucking name. Speaking of energy, speaking of aura, Jesus fucking Christ, this one. I think I've said this about a couple of characters so far, but what I like about this one is design-wise, like for the character, it's fairly basic. A little bit of body armor, showing off your fucking insane physique as much as you can. It's energy and aura that's selling this. It's the presentation. It's the fact that she's looking down at you like she's ready to fucking, dare I say it, step on you?
Step on my cubes!
She's got Rhea Ripley energy. That's what she's got. Like, she looks nothing like her, but she's got the same energy. And I stand. Ilawi. Where the fuck did she go? Oh, there she is. I'm gonna put her in A. Irelia, the Blade Dancer. This is fucking gorgeous. Maybe it's just the colour palette or something, but good lord do I think this looks good. She kind of reminds me of Psylocke from X-Men. She has a very similar colour scheme, so maybe that's what it is. But this looks great. I think she's got a bit too much going on top. The spiky extra pieces, like on the heads and the shoulders, like pick one. Have it on your ears or your shoulders. Like, you can't have both. It's a little bit too much. But other than that, this is fucking beautiful. I love it. S. Ivern, the Green Father. He looks very wise, you know. He looks very kind and amiable. I quite like that his beard is leaves. That's kind of cute. But outside of that, it's all right. It's fine. Like, I don't dislike it. He's got cool things surrounding him. He's got a bunch of like pups and cubs surrounding him. Which, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a monster. Maybe he like eats these things. I don't know. I'm judging by the splash art. You know, maybe he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, or I don't know, poisonous sap in eucalyptus clothing, or some. What am I fucking saying? He's gone in C. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Janna, the Storm's Fury. So yeah, she looks like Emma Frost, but here's the caveat: she looks like Emma Frost, but not a great version of Emma Frost. I don't really get much from it. Most of this is her beautiful head of hair that's making her stand out. Other than it's just not very interesting. There's no a lot going on. You know, like maybe that's the point. Like, maybe the point is that she's meant to look very like singular in a way. It's just not. Just doesn't look like much. I didn't even she has big ears. Never even realised that. Honestly, I was lingering on a C the whole time, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's a D. The Exemplar of Demacia, Jarvan the Fourth. Oh, Jarvan the Fourth, eh? Oh, somebody's got fucking history and lore to his name. Pfft, I tell you what, he's no got to his name. Good fucking fashion sense. What is this? What the fuck is going on? What are you, a porcupine? How many spikes do you need? I kind of like he's got the fucking Batman gauntlets, but he's also got shoulder spike, and his crown's all spiky and all, like, and his weapon's all spiky. He's got spikes on his leg as well. How many spikes do you need, man? It's so bulky and clunky, like, ugh. Such a mess. If he got rid of the fucking shoulder spikes and toned down the helmet a bit, I think this would actually look pretty good. But it's so distracting, because he has a different body type from the other ones that I talked about, who I thought looked really good. So it looks even worse on him that he's got even bulkier armor. It looks really bad. Like, it's just it doesn't look like it. It looks like if he moves his arms ever so slightly, it looks like he can't move. It looks like he can't move. It's like he's that bulky in his armor. It's like the armor's too big for him. Nah, sorry, Jarvan the Fourth. You're going in D. I see what you're going for. You almost had it, but you went too far. You were given an inch and you took a fucking mile. Maybe Jarvan the Third, the Second, and the First had better fashion sense than you fucking did. Jax. I knew a guy called Jax. Didn't he look like you though? Grandmaster at Arms. Aye, the Jax I knew was also a Grandmaster at Arms. This is interesting. I like his mask. Is that a mask or is that his face? Can't you tell? It's mysterious. I can't really, again, as with all of these images, I can't really get a good sense of scale. But I'm assuming he's meant to be quite big. He looks alright. I don't feel strongly either way, so I feel like he's the perfect candidate for the B slot. Oh god. Oh god, we're back here now. We finally returned. Jace Talus. Defender of Tomorrow, but not his own wardrobe apparently. I do not like the way he looks in the game. I do not like it. And again, this might be me finding it impossible to like separate the Arcane bias, because I don't think anybody can argue Trauma made this man cool. Like, it's a message that Arcane seems to send, you know, because it applies to Jace, it applies to Vi, it applies to Jinx. Trauma just seems to make people cool, apparently, according to Arcane, which is a horrible message to send, alright? And I think it's worthy of discussion. Even when he's a fucking mess, and he just looks like he came back from hell. Oh god, I do not like this look. I do not like this. Like, the coat is bizarre. There's so much, like, crap all over it, and I get that it's meant to be, like, for the hammer, but I don't know, there's other ways you could do that. He's got the big fur collar, like he's some sort of like Swedish pilot. His face looks like fucking Gaston. Look, I might be being a bit harsh, but I can't help it. I'm sorry, he has to go in D. Jin, the Virtuoso. He's John Wick. He's excommunicado. My initial thought was, looks like a bit of a mess, but I really like his mask. I can't pinpoint it, but it does remind me of something. Yeah, I quite like that he seems to be wearing a poncho as well. We're in the perspective of a mirror that I find quite interesting. I don't know what the fuck's going on over here. I'm assuming this is just part of his arm, like his metal arm. But it does look a bit weird just sitting there. Overall though, I do like this. Like, there's something really like intriguing about this. I'm gonna put him in A. I kind of want to put him in S, but there's a couple of things where I'm like, what's going on? This looks odd. But he does look really cool. You know, it's mostly the mask. Like, the mask is really cool and creepy. Oh god, this is gonna annoy me because it does remind me of something, but I can't pinpoint it. Next we have Jinx, the loose cannon. But I might shoot you in your face. Bombs and bullets will do the trick. I'm of the opinion that pretty much all the Arcane designs look better, you know, than the League designs do. I stand with that on Jinx as well. But at the same time, I think she still looks really fucking good here. I still think she looks great. Like, because here's the thing, right? Jinx, like, even before I'd seen Arcane, and before I'd even heard of League of Legends, or knew that Jinx was a character from League of Legends, I had heard of Jinx. Like, I'd seen, like, artwork of Jinx, I'd seen cosplays of Jinx, but I never knew she was from League of Legends. And then, even when Arcane came out for the first time, because I didn't watch it for the first few years, I didn't know she was from Arcane. But I knew about Jinx because I'd seen images of her. So I think that just kind of explains why Jinx is like so iconic. And she is just, I mean, again, maybe that's just, you know, the status that she has now because it's been elevated by Arcane, but still, I still think she's I still think before that she kind of earned like some sort of iconic status, because I am aware that she was one of the most popular characters in the game apparently, and she just looks great. I mean, yes, she is very Harley Quinn inspired, and I suppose tank a bit of Tank Girl in there as well, but still such an, it's mostly the hair, like that's such an iconic like design choice, you know. But it's all the other, it's some of the other stuff as well, just like all of her chaotic accoutrement. It's really fun, you know. Again, I do think her Arcane counterpart is a bit better, but just this image alone, it's just iconic. So honestly, it feels wrong to not put her in S in some ways. In some ways, it feels wrong to not put her in S. K'Sante, the Pride of Nazuma, another big bulky guy. I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, it's very colourful and it's somewhat streamlined, but it also somehow feels a bit generic. Like he's very big and imposing, I'll give him that. Cool earring, but I don't know. I'm not getting anything for this. I don't think it's bad because I do appreciate that it's going for a lot, but also like keeping it somewhat restrained. But I don't think he's any higher than like a C. There he is. Yeah, I don't think he's any higher than a C. Kai-Sa, Daughter of the Void. She looks alright. It feels very basic. It does look like she's killing a guy. Or she's killing something. So she might get extra points. What is this? Are these wings? Or is it drapery? Because either way, they look weird. I don't think it is drapery. I think they are wings. It doesn't look like she's floating. It looks like she's crouching. So I don't think she's flying or anything. It's not. But what's happening here? Is her body falling apart? That's bizarre. I don't know. This one's a wee bit confusing. Initially I was like, it looks pretty normal. Looks pretty good. But I'm just getting more and more confused the more I look at it. It's not terrible though. It's not. I'll put her in B because I'm like, I don't know. Callista, the Spear of Vengeance. I like it. It's ethereal. It's scary. It's quite menacing as well. I love the hair. Like it's cut off. I know it's cut off at the top of the pitch of the image, but I like how the hair is like going up and forward. The crown's pretty cool, you know, or the tiara or whatever you want to call it. Again, another example of it looks like it could be a pretty cool boss battle. An unassuming boss battle, but it could be a fucking deadly one. Also, she's not killing a guy, but she is pulling a spear out of herself. That's a pretty hard flex, I'm not gonna lie. I think she's an A. I think it works. I like it. Karma, the Enlightened One. This is nice. I like this one. This one's... Do you know what's... I don't really have much to say about this. It's just very, like... It's just very pleasant. You know? It's just very elegant. I would typically complain about how extensive her drapery is. Like, this is going on forever. But for some reason, it really works in the art here. Looks really well. But I wouldn't say it's, like, amazing. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm, like, super drawn to it. I don't know what this is at the back. Like, are these wings? I don't really know what that is, but honestly, I suppose it makes her kind of unique. But I think it just looks nice. I like the color scheme. It looks good. I'll give her a... I don't know if it's appealing to me as much to put it in A. But I can't deny it does look very nice. Like, it does look very elegant and very well put together, so... wait, who else is in B? Actually, do you know what? I feel very similarly to her as I did with, like, Ari. It's just very nice, you know? It's just very pleasant. It's not super appealing, but it's just very nice and pleasant and elegant to look at. I'm... Look, my metric for measuring these is very arbitrary, let's be honest. Karthus, the Death Singer. Interesting title. Alright, this one's a wee bit difficult. This is another one that feels very muted, so I can't really figure it out. He might be a bit too over designed for my liking. but it's not. At least it's consistent in its over design. I feel like it's just one of those things where you just need to like pull it back a bit, and it'll be fine. Because I can see he's got like a lot of reds, and he's got some blue in his design as well, and it's mostly all silver elsewhere. I think the red needs to pop a bit more. I didn't hate it though. It's not terrible, but I think he's gonna have to go and see. Like, it's two problems at the same time. I'm like, it's a bit over designed, and it's also a bit too muted. Cassidon, the Void Walker. Holy fucking hell! This is awesome. I'm sorry. All right, whatever I was just saying about it, this is over designed in the best possible way. He looks like an Omega level Emperor Zurg, you know? Or like Lord Zed or something like that. Like, this guy looks like the ultimate evil, you know? I don't even know if he is evil. Like, he might not even be a bad guy. Actually, do you know what? Do you know what I've been saying about how certain characters look like they would be cool boss battles? This guy looks like the final boss. This guy looks like the last one standing. Like, if this was a fighting game, he'd be at the top of the fucking ladder. This is the guy he'd be the Shao Kahn, you know? He'd be the M. Bison. He looks so cool. Again, I might be completely wrong in my interpretation of this. He might not even be a villain, but come on, he has to be. He has to be, right? Come on. S. Amazing. Katarina, the Sinister Blade. She was also in the Bite Marks trailer video, wasn't she? She looked really cool in that. She looks really cool here as well. Do you know what I love about this? It's one of those simple, effective ones. She's another one who's irradiating main character energy, you know? Because this splash art is great, and it actually looks like the box art of a game. Like, this could just be the box art of League of Legends, and I would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, you know? I was just saying, Cassidon looks like he's the final boss of the game. This looks like this could be the main character of the game. She looks great. She looks incredible. Simple, effective, to the point, badass. I love it. S. Kale, the Righteous. This one's interesting and a bit complicated because I haven't read into the lore of any of this. I did learn that these two are sisters apparently, but that's all I know about them. And they've got some sort of like angel demon aesthetic going on. The other one, I can't even mind their name, the one on the left, but she has her own slot and her splash art is exactly the same as this. So the fact that these two are like so intrinsically linked to each other that they share each other's splash art despite having separate slots as characters, I think is really interesting. I think this looks really cool. Like, just presentation wise, I think it looks really cool. So I think that immediately like elevates them, which is almost unfair, but on their own. Alright, so looking at Kale as like a sort of battle, like sort of warrior angel design, I think I've seen better, but I've also seen worse. You know, I think it looks quite nice. The wings look good. I like the Bo-Katan helmet. I do not know what the fuck these shoulder like things are. Like, this just looks like it's blocking her field of vision. She's looking right at the shoulder. What is she looking at? She's looking into the fucking brass shoulder guard. She's like, can you get out of the way? I can't see. I do find it interesting though, that because obviously they've got this like light side and dark side dichotomy. I do find it interesting that the light side one has a mask covering her face and the dark side one doesn't. Like, you'd think it'd be the opposite way around, and I find that quite interesting. I'm actually going to do these two at the same time. I'll do, what's her name? Oh no, there she is. Morgana, is that her? Yeah, it looks like it. Morgana. Right, so I'll do that at the same time. So, immediately I will say, I do think Morgana is more interesting looking than Kale. Like, again, I think the fact that they're so intrinsically linked, I think that like elevates them a wee bit. Regardless, I'm going to put them both in A, because I do think there is something fascinating about these two. Like, being so closely linked to each other. Kane, the Shadow Reaper. And again, it's interesting coming from the one I just did with Kale and Morgana to this one, because this is another one where I'm like, this just looks interesting. Like, what's going on here? Like, design wise, Kane looks really cool. You know, I love the long hair. I like the armor. There's a good example of having like shoulder armor, but it doesn't look ridiculous. This fucking... There's a lot of scythe weapons in this, I'm noticing. And then whatever the hell's going on back here. But I like how... Again, there's a story here that I'm curious about. I'm like, why is this the way it is? You know, like, he's got one red eye, and this thing back here has got like a red motif. He's got like a blue streak in his hair. This thing here has a blue streak in its hair, so what's going on? Is this like... Has he got like 2 demons that work with him or something? I don't know, but it's intriguing. It makes me wonder. I'm like, alright, cool. This guy looks good. Yeah, this is too enticing. I need to put this in S. Yes, it's very muted, but it's the type of muted that can get away with it because you've got this going on in the splash art to sort of elevate it, which I appreciate. Kennen, the Heart of the Tempest. I'm kind of struggling with this one. So I'm assuming it's another Yordle character, but he's a ninja of sorts. I mean, it's kind of cute in a way, I suppose, but I'm not really getting anything for it. I don't really know. God, it's really hard to rate some of these guys sometimes. Do you know what? I'll just go with like gut feeling on this one because I'm having a hard time quantifying this, if that's the right word. And I'll just go with like gut instinct and say C. Kha'Zix, the Void Reaver. Looks like one of Darkseid's parademons. Just a bug creature. I don't know. It looks like a pretty generic like enemy type that you would find in any sort of like sci-fi game where you're like fighting aliens or some shit. But I didn't feel anything. It's a bit generic. Nah. Do you know what? Do I dislike it though? I think I do. I'm putting it in D. Kindred, the Eternal Hunters. I'm having a hard time figuring this one out. So it's some sort of animal with, I'm assuming, some sort of like spirit attached to it. This thing in the middle, I'm assuming this is the main part of it. But I don't know if like, is that a person or... I can't tell. I can't make it out. It looks like a furry creature or something. I can't tell if like that's meant to be a mask or if that's its face. I can't tell. Like, it's really hard to make out. It's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of confusing. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Like, I kind of like the imagery, but like this is really throwing me because I don't know what I'm looking at exactly. I feel like there's something really interesting happening here, but I just can't figure it out from this image. So I think I'm gonna have to... Oh god, I really want to put this in B because it does look kind of interesting, but I can't figure it out for the life of me, so I'm gonna have to put it in C. Kled, the Cantankerous Cavalier. That's one hell of a moniker. He looks fucking mental. Like, he looks like a nut job, which I'm assuming he is if he's got the nickname the Cantankerous Cavalier. I don't know. He looks like he'd have a fun personality. He looks like he could be the Kano of Yordles. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. He looks like a nut job, which could be fun. What's going on here? Is he riding this thing? Is this his transport? He looks like he could be a bit of fun. I'll put him in B. You know, not a lot of Yordles. There's not a lot of Yordles up high. Kog'Maw, Mouth of the Abyss. So it looks like some sort of weird bug dragon that's overdosing on methadone. D. LeBlanc, the Deceiver. Oh, she was also in the Noxus trailer, wasn't she? Looks pretty fucking cool. I like it. It's really well balanced. I like how she has a little bit of like gold on her face to like match her aesthetic elsewhere. The collar's a bit much. I get it. She's trying to be extra. She's gone full Rita Repulsa. I appreciate that. I appreciate camp as much as the next person, but you can pull it back a wee bit, I think. Other than that, though, pretty fucking cool. I think she's a... Oh, wait. LeBlanc. Her image is different. Oh, no. Have I fucked this up? Is that her? Alright, I'm just going to go away because I've not got... I don't want to waste too much time. LeBlanc is, I think she's an A. I think she's very interesting. I don't think she's, like, peak interesting, but... Oh, actually... Let me see it again. No, honestly, it's just the collar. It's just the collar. Honestly, I think she deserves to go up in the S category. Other than the collar, I didn't have any issues with this. Lee Sin, the blind monk. So, Shaolin monk, daredevil. Leona, the radiant dawn. And once again, what is this? What is these people's obsession with spikes, honestly? Here's the thing, right? Because my immediate thought, like my first thought was like C or D. Because I was looking at the top part and thinking, oh god, this is a fucking mess. Because all of this all at once is too much, right? But then I actually took a second and looked at the rest of it, and I'm like, actually, this looks quite nice. You know, like her bodice, you know, the upper half of her armor, it actually looks quite nice and streamlined and really well done. And even her lower half, wait, she's not got legs. She's not got oh wait, she does. Oh wait, hold on. I thought she didn't have legs for a second. It looked like she didn't have legs. It looked like she was just floating there with like drapery down the side. But no, she does have legs. I can see them now. From the neck down, this looks really good. This is a really good design, right? It's just all this shit up here. Literally, get rid of the spikes on her head. She looks incredible. I was genuinely thinking this is a C or a D, but honestly, if I just eliminate all the spiky crap for the top and maybe tone down the spikes on the shield. Actually, no, you can keep the spikes on the shield if you want. Because once you get rid of them for the top, they're not going to look that distracting. But yeah, like get rid of the spikes. This is great, you know. But it is very distracting. So unfortunately, it does bring her down quite significantly. I'm going to put her in B. Lilia, the bashful bloom. This is nice. This is nice. I didn't really have many thoughts on this one. It's another centaur type character. It's very cute. It looks like one of those like psychedelic tapestries that your hippie pal has in their house. But it does look nice, I must admit. It's very cute. This is the person I'd want to get my drugs from and do drugs with. I'll put her in B. You know, I'll put her in B. Lysandra, the Ice Witch. It's got some. This has some H.R. Geiger vibes to it a wee bit. You know, feels very alien a little bit. I love this like hammerhead shark mask. Like this looks really unsettling. Another example of shoulder armor being a bit extreme, but I think it kind of works here for the aesthetic, like because of the big helm or the mask or whatever it is. I think it kind of works. This is really like unsettling. It's like it's quite menacing in a way. Like I said, some H.R. Geiger vibes to it. I quite like it. I'm gonna put Lysandra in A. Oh my god, I've been at this for nearly 2 hours and I didn't even think I've done half of them. I really need to speed this up. Somebody send help. I'm taking this far too seriously. Alright, who's next?